And we are live. It's good, everyone. Let's get this show started. What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here. And today we're going to be talking about the Supreme Court decision where they granted Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Jimmy Carter immunity from prosecution from the acts they may have taken during the presidency. And that was the ruling today. If I'm not mistaken, the ruling was 6-3. And, and of course, the liberal justices were the dissenting view. But the Supreme Court has decided that Donald Trump has immunity from certain prosecution based on the actions he's taken as president. Now, if you listen to the Butthurt Blues running around here, they're gonna sit and tell you Donald Trump has total immunity. Oh my gosh, they just elected a king. No, that's not what happened. What happened was Donald Trump has immunity based on the actions he's taken as president and any official action he has taken as president. Now, any official action he hasn't taken as president, he can still be charged. So they haven't given him total immunity. That is misinformation. But yeah, Donald Trump has been given immunity. Now, the interesting part is this ruling does not negate the 34 34 felonies he was convicted of, and it doesn't negate the alleged fraud charges he's convicted of. But this does put the Jack Smith case in jeopardy, and it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out over time. But they gave him immunity, and of course, the Butthurt Blues are in their fee-fees about it. But that's politics for you. Speaking of which, there are 10,000 calls for Joe Biden to drop out based on his debate performance. And you don't have to take my word for it. All you have to do is watch the news. Some are suggesting that they should replace him with Kamala Harris. Some are suggesting that they should replace him with Gavin Newsom. And some are suggesting that they should replace him with Michelle Obama. Now, my personal opinion, it's too late for all of that. But hey, you know, it's too late for all that, but it is what it is. They may replace him, they may not. Time will tell. For those of you just coming in, be sure to like, share, subscribe to the video. Hit the Cash App, support the show. Hit the Super Chat, support the show. But yeah, Donald Trump has immunity, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the Jack Smith case moves forward. They have to decide whether or not he was acting as president based on the charges they're putting against him. So the links in the chat. If you want to come up and talk about this, you can feel free to do so now. But we live in some interesting times, and as the debate proved me right, your choices are between dementia patient and convicted felon. Which one do you want? Which one will you choose? Choice is up to you. Choice is up to you. But they say Donald Trump has immunity, and of course he took a victory lap for it, and that's to be expected. But yeah, a lot of things going on. It's going to be interesting to see or what the conventions are going to look like in the next couple months. But that's the main news, big news of the day that Donald Trump has immunity from prosecution based on the acts he did as president. Yeah, one second. Looking something up here for you. Interesting. Just reading this article on the Hill that seven not three but seven names are being mentioned to replace Joe Biden as at the top of the ticket. Very interesting. And this is the Democrats. Don't take my and you don't have to take my word for it. This is the Democrats reporting on this. Democrats in Washington are reporting on this. It's not just me. You do not have to take my word for it. Democrats themselves want to replace Joe Biden. What's going on, Andre? Democrats themselves want to replace Joe Biden, and I don't feel sorry for him. You claim that Donald Trump was a threat to democracy. So your bright idea to battle a threat to democracy is to get a dementia patient to run for president. That's how you deal with a threat to democracy? Stop and think about that for a minute. To deal with a threat to democracy, Democrats' bright idea is to win democracy back by allowing a dementia patient to be in the White House. Let that sink in. And the question I have is, what democracy are we fighting for? More than half of my generation can't even afford to buy a damn house. But you want to talk about democracy? More than half of my generation. Let me say that again for the Negroes didn't hear me in the back. More than half of my generation can't afford to buy a damn house in this country. But we're supposed to be fighting for democracy. We're supposed to go kiss the Democrat Party's ass. I ain't gonna do it. Nor am I going to. Nor am I going to shame any young people into voting for the Democrat Party. I am not doing any shame blue, no matter who. Take that however you want to take that. Of course, you still have the clowns of the Democrat Party still running around. But I just had to run back. Best performance, Let me remind y'all what Biden done for y'all, B. Go fuck yourself, Roland. If you listen to people like Roland Martin, we just about give our vote for Biden, baby. He's Project 25, B. Y'all need this had Roger P. Henson. Y'all got worry about Project 2025, B. Now what we have to worry about is re-electing a dementia patient that has us on the verge of World War III. That's what we need to be worried about. Based on the wars in Ukraine and the genocide happening in the Gaza Strip, we're on the brink of World War III, whether people realize it or not. And playtime is over. Now I know there are still butthurt blues out here that we need to support Biden. In fact, some of them are crazy enough to say, I don't care if he's in the casket. I'll still vote for him over Trump. Trump bad. Trump's a racist. What do you think Joe Biden is? What do Joe Biden's mentor was Strom Thurmond. He's been in the Senate and Congress for over 50 years. And to all y'all who have cut student loan debt, Joe Biden's the reason you can't file bankruptcy on your student loan debt. That was brought to you by Joe Biden. The 1994 crime bill was brought to you by Joe Biden. But you're gonna listen to these knuckleheads say we didn't give our vote to Joe Biden. Some of y'all listen to knuckleheads like Roland Martin talking about your ancestors died. What? Our ancestors died for us to blindly vote for a Democrat Party that promoted slavery back in the 1800s? Our ancestors died for us to blindly, and I do mean blindly, vote for the Democrat Party who supported the Ku Klux Klan back in the 1800s and up to the 1900s. By the way, we're supposed to vote for a party that played "Birth of a Nation" in the White House. Shout out to Woodrow Wilson. That's the party we're supposed to give our vote to. That's who we're supposed to give our vote to. That sound like a good plan for you? Hmm? Does that sound like let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, Andre, unfortunately. Unfortunately that is true. If World War III does pop off, and trust and believe, I am praying that World War III does not pop off. We are in some deep, deep shit. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But no, but no. If you listen to Biden, oh, we need to keep fun, or we need to keep fun, okay, uh, uh, keep funding you correct. Hey, that's who the Democrats chose to face Donald Trump. You don't have to like Donald Trump. It's okay to think he's a prick. It's okay to think he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was. But what should scare you is Democrats found a way to lose to this dude anyway. And the way they're playing the game, they're going to lose to him again in November. And Donald Trump will become your 47th president. Now, let me remind you, if you don't think Donald Trump can't get elected as president, let me remind you of something. There's only got two words for you. If you think Donald Trump can't get elected as president, I only have two words for you: Grover Cleveland. What's going on, Master Teacher?
Hey, what's going on, man? this, uh, I don't know why people are surprised by this.
Yeah. But yeah, Grover Cleveland. For those of you who don't know who Grover Cleveland is, I'm sorry, I'm a history buff. I can't help it. He was your 22nd president and your
Hmm.
24th president. So this has happened before. If you don't think Donald Trump can get reelected, you're not paying attention, and you don't read history. Let's see who this is. Oh, what's going on, Snowman?
What's going on, guys? What's up, Master Teacher?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, we're just talking
Um,
about the Supreme Court decision. Trump's immunity.
So
let
Or,
me
excuse me,
see.
what
excuse me.
about what about the New York thing?
Um,
Let me see. What are three words that I can use to tell people that oh yeah, the legendary Bill Engvall said it best. Here's your sign.
I, I don't know why people are surprised, man.
you mentioned New
Look,
York. From
um
what I
So does this cover the New York thing or what?
from what I've heard, it doesn't cover the 34 felonies
Hmm.
trial, but I could be wrong about that. And it doesn't cover the other stuff he's been convicted of. Eugene Carroll and the alleged fraud case.
Okay.
Apparently, it doesn't cover that, but it's the court ruling. It pretty much said anything he's actually taken as president, he's
Okay.
immune for. But any
Okay.
president he's taken as a private citizen, he's not immune for.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
uh
The Congress already basically pretty much said that already. I don't know why we actually relitigating this thing. So.
Well, there's another case. There's another caveat to this that nobody's thinking about.
Hmm.
No one's thinking about. Can you imagine the horror, the can of worms it would open if they actually threw Trump in jail?
Yeah, I
Just
know. That's why I know they probably won't.
yeah, a lot of people don't just do. They see. They're not. See, I know what the problem is. BGS. They're not thinking that they can do this kind of crap to Obama. They're not thinking they can do this kind of crap to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
They're not thinking they can do this kind of crap to Bill Clinton
or Joe Biden
Hey, hey
or Joe
B,
Biden.
or his
you
son.
said the
Yeah,
key word. In the immortal words of George Carlin, I got this real moron thing I do. It's called thinking.
Yeah, they don't think it's
Oh,
happened. They don't
and
think
for
it can
both
happen to them. So I was like, okay,
and for
y'all can
both
stay
of
over
you in
there.
attendance, and for both of you in attendance,
God damn it. You can't make this shit up.
yeah, yeah. So, but this was we're still waiting on July 11th, right?
Right, the sentencing
what
uh,
sentencing?
For New York thing.
for the 34
Y-
count.
Yeah, 34 counts in New York.
Hey, Craig, what's going on?
Hey,
What's going on, Craig?
why are you
Your
looking at
thoughts
me?
on them?
Looking at it.
Your thoughts on them giving Trump semi immunity? He doesn't have
That's
total immunity. Immunity,
yeah,
but
that's correct. Because you can't prosecute a president. This look at what say Obama did when he ordered a military strike into Pakistan.
Yeah,
So that's an act of war
yeah,
according to
right,
the United Nations. So
or
you don't,
Libya or
yeah, or Libya.
most other
And
things.
you so you cannot prosecute a president based on a presidential action. Like, the problem is that the issue they had to rule on is what is and what isn't, and that's what the
yeah,
lower
that's what they have
court
to
now,
figure out.
yeah, has to figure out. But yeah, he didn't get total. I mean, again, they should have immunity for that. You know, that's the way that is. So when they authorize a presidential actions under the Constitution, that's fine. But yeah, but sending SEAL Team 6 into a sovereign nation was a invasion of their airspace. It was a military strike.
Yeah,
Can I
So
laugh
and
now?
so yeah, it was the right that was the right call. I was looking at it. I'm like, well, this actually makes
Mhm.
sense. I didn't think it was that big a deal, actually.
yeah.
So
What?
Me neither. But you listen to these knucklehead lefties out here. Well, excuse me, these knucklehead
You said it
liberals.
right. You said it right.
Yeah,
You know, it's the end of the world. You know, they just made him a king. Blah blah blah. Like, really?
yeah,
well, no, they're still reeling from that debate. So
I know.
for some reason, they actually believe that the Supreme Court was going to say, well, he has no immunity, so now Smith can go and prosecute him. It's like, no, he's going to have all presidents have some kind of immunity.
yeah.
You know? So
Mhm.
Yeah,
as long as it's under the color of the Constitution, that's fine. It's their issue again is going to be decided by the lower court. That judge now has to go through and say, okay, what's under the Constitution and what's not under the Constitution. So that's where the next fight with that will be. So
but
uh,
Craig had it right. Craig had it right. They're still reeling
yeah,
from the debate, and I just saw an article. BGS. Apparently, they're looking at 7 different people to replace.
The thing is it's too late. Okay,
I
yeah,
know
too
it.
late
I
in the
know it's too late.
process. So
I'm not holding
basically,
my breath, but if they do it, I was like, okay. I was like, okay, if y'all gonna do it, let's see what happens if they do it. But
yeah. Well, like they said, the Dark Knight. We bet it all on Harvey, and the Joker took him down.
yeah,
yeah. And they have numbers now. They actually, I think Kornacki released some early numbers, and yeah, it's that people were saying this on Friday and Saturday is that this debate is going to hurt, and it did. The numbers are now coming in. It's early,
Hmm.
but
yeah.
he is
I
like
just
Trump is up by 7 points in New Hampshire or 2 points in New Hampshire. If it makes any difference,
yeah,
Biden won New Hampshire by 7,
Hmm.
so there's been a 9 point swing.
Hmm.
Oh, that's there. And in other states, it's looking like it's a 3.4 to 3.8 election. So to give
Yeah.
you a number on that, Obama won his election against John McCain. Rest in peace to John McCain. That was a
yes,
4.5 point election, and
Hmm.
look how big that was. So I mean, there's not. And Nate Silver of 538.com he said he predicted Trump by 66%. That was before
Yeah.
the debate. So yeah, do they have time to recover? Absolutely. And
They've
they
lost
more than likely they won. They won. And they're trying to push Kamala Harris to do it.
Oh
She's
gosh.
more unpopular than Joe Biden is. So
Yes.
I'm sorry. They're trying to push who?
they're thinking about it.
Oh,
So
okay. Wait a minute.
they're not good.
What's the sound I usually use? AB, this is for you. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There is talk about them pushing Kamala Harris.
but they're not. They're not. They're sticking with
I know.
Biden. So
You fool!
They're pushing. Come on.
You fool!
well, she's one of like 6 to 7 people whose names have come up, but they have already said no.
Now, the other thing, it was an interesting thing. They were making a big fuss about Biden meeting with his family,
Mhm.
and allegedly it was supposed to be so whether or not he's going to drop out or not. And apparently,
Can't.
Biden's family came out and said, "No,
Can't.
we'll stick it in."
He can't. He can't drop out.
You can't make this up, folks. You just can't make this up.
This has been consistent with the Biden administration for the
BGS,
past,
you called this shit
3.5
a long
years.
time.
Yeah,
BGS master teacher, you called this shit a long time ago.
yeah, I did.
And I remember when you did, because I listened to it and I said to myself, I'm not a political buff, but even I can see this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, when Trump can lead in the polls without even campaigning,
Without even campaigning.
that's
Without
speaks
even
volumes.
showing up to a debate.
Yeah,
And he's been convicted.
Well,
Mhm.
with the fact that his conviction probably helped him more. Like I said, with Trump,
Free
rules
press.
the-
It's like
no,
you said, BGS, free press.
it's free press, but the rules are reversed for Trump for whatever reason, right? The normal stuff doesn't work on him.
Nope.
Yeah, my
Everything
bad.
that
Just a minute, Brian. My bad, AL. Don't nobody say shit.
You all right, you okay. But see, the thing about it is like BGS has said, this thing done went in reverse. You would think, all right, it was supposed
Yeah.
to go as status quo. He's supposed to be convicted, incarcerated, this, that, and the third, but it ain't. This dude, we literally have to call him now the Teflon Cheeto, because he's really proven to the world he's Teflon.
No, he wasn't Teflon because COVID took his ass out, so he's not Teflon. Otherwise, he'd still be president.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's just nobody. And when I hear people attacking the moderators, and I'm glad the moderators were saying it's not our job to call out if somebody's lying. That's what the candidate gets a 1-minute rebuttal for,
Yes,
or maybe 2
Mhm.
minutes, and it's not their
it's
fault
his
Biden
job.
couldn't do it. Yes,
It's his
Biden
job,
did not
yeah.
do his job. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're right. Somebody told me today that if a quarterback has a bad game, do you totally sack him? I said, no, that's fine. I said, look, I don't think Biden's going to win based on the number, but yes, they still have about 6 weeks to save it. But by mid-August, I believe that you're going to see the DCCC start siphoning money
The-
out
the- the-
for other races.
The only way out of this, Craig, and you and I both know it, right,
Mhm,
is if he throws a total reversal during the next debate. That's the only way
And that's
out.
if Trump does it, BGS. Trump does not have to do the second debate.
I
Yeah,
would.
he doesn't have
I
to.
would.
He
That's
can
why I
always,
was asking you earlier, BGS, was this a one-time debate? Because the way they had presented in the beginning, this was going to be a one-time debate, winner takes all, and Trump wasn't going to do another.
What does a shark do when it smells blood?
Oh, he goes after.
Yeah, it takes a bigger bite.
If you were advising Trump, would you want another debate?
No.
Oh,
Why?
yeah, of course, yes.
Why?
Yes, to make him look worse.
Hold on. Ask Craig.
Why?
Okay.
Because he's. I'd rather him do like a town hall than a debate because with him and his whoever he picks for VP, let those two go talk to him because there's no reason to. Like people were saying, that was elderly abuse what Trump was doing, even though Trump wasn't telling the truth, but he still came across as strong.
I would make him bow. I would make Biden bow out. That's what I would do.
Well, that's true. I understand why people want a second debate. But if he would have asked me, I'd be like, well, you're up in the polls. This is if he's up in the polls in September. If you're up by 3 to 4 points, there's no reason to do a second debate. And what AL is saying is right as far as what they meant by the rules was that Biden's can't set all these rules, and Trump was supposed to do bad.
What I'm saying is, if he's that bad, and when he's got all the cards stacked against Trump, and he's that bad, he has that bad a showing, I'm looking for a second debate.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, but no, Biden.
In other words, you're
Yeah,
already in the casket. I just want to throw some dirt on you. Make sure
yeah,
you
no,
stay down.
Biden's team wants a second debate,
Do
but
they? Oh,
yeah,
do they?
yeah, but because they're
Okay.
the ones that agreed to 2 debates, but so they're like, well, he'll be better in September. Well,
That's
if
what they.
Trump
Yeah,
says yes,
I would say yes.
yeah, and I understand. I mean, I see it both ways, honestly. If he was asking me, I'd be like, no, Mr. Trump, because you're up by close to 4 points. I would do a town hall and make, everybody can watch the
Yeah.
town hall, but there's no reason to go up here against Biden again.
What's the name? What's the name of the game when they go finish him?
Yeah, that's true.
Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat. Finish him.
yeah.
Wait a
Well,
minute.
now,
Wait. How dare you, BGS, throw a fat fastball right across my bow,
hmm
knowing I got this sound base in front of me where all I have to do is push a button and say,
Finish him.
That's what I would tell him. It was just said, well, go ahead.
ready?
BGS, do you think that I should do a second debate against Biden, or what would I say?
Finish him.
man,
Do
pretty
you,
much he already did.
do you
And
even
when,
know it's elderly abuse? Do you
yeah,
think I
that's what
should
they're
make him
calling it.
show up?
Finish him.
No, no, no. Actually, believe it or not, while it did look like elderly abuse, I kind of had to defend Trump. That pales in comparison to what I saw the next day with Jill Biden at that rally. She said she was talking to him like a child. Joe, you did a good job. You
Yeah.
answered all the questions. I was like, what the fuck? That's the president of the United States.
Well, everybody knows that's not true because they've literally said he feels humiliated after that debate. So he knows he didn't. Everybody knows he didn't do well. I have
So
not seen anybody saying that he did well. I mean, I'm sure there's always some whack job out there that says he did, but he couldn't even answer the question. He said we got rid of. He said we killed Medicare. We got rid of
When
Medicare
when was this debate? When did it happen?
Thursday
Thursday.
night.
Thursday night.
Oh, I was
He'll
snoring like
still be up on
I was
CNN.
sleeping like a baby.
It was bad. They
You
knew
didn't
he was in
you didn't miss
trouble
anything.
10 minutes in.
I
10
Yeah.
minutes-
I
Yeah, they
was
scrambled.
sleeping like a baby Thursday night because I had to drive and take my daughter to
Yeah.
work.
And this is why they were trying to get Trump out of the way. This is why they cleared
Yep.
the decks for the to get rid of all the other Democratic rivals,
And
because he
unfortunately,
can't campaign.
against itself, the operation said,
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
But instead of it being no crowd, I said I want an audience this time. If you want me to come back,
Mhm.
Yeah,
I,
I mean that's if he does it.
in other words, the cards are stacked one way. I'm gonna stack the cards the other way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I feel bad for them because they're really having a hard time. Now you're hearing people getting upset. A certain sex of people are getting upset that
Why?
they won't flaunt to Kamala Harris, and it's like, well, she
Again,
would get
Gio.
eaten alive up
But
there.
but they set this up 2 years ago. You could see them stacking the decks so he wouldn't have to run.
I
Right.
agree.
Yep,
Well,
they
I think
they
they
were setting
messed
themselves
up.
long before 2
I
years
think they
ago.
messed up during his second impeachment. They should not have impeached him when Kevin McCarthy came down and said he needs to be censured. They actually did have about 22 Republicans who were willing to censure him. Had he been censured, it was bipartisan. This wouldn't be happening.
Well, they cut a deal.
Yeah,
They cut
I
a
agree.
deal, and I don't know if Trump agreed to the deal at the time or not. But thing is,
Mhm.
whatever it is, he didn't abide by the deal, and
Yeah.
and but thing is, I had to give him credit, man. He was willing to actually walk through the gauntlet to get to
Yeah.
the other side. Now he's at the other side, and he's still standing. What do you do now?
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, in my estimation, unless something really comes out of the out of left field, basically this race is over.
Yeah,
Yep.
people said it
Uh,
it
This
ended
was the
that night.
nail in the
Yeah.
coffin.
Yeah. people were saying it that was it. And again, the problem is that Biden's team set all the rules for the debate.
And
Everything you saw was
it
for
all
Biden.
backfired.
And it didn't work. Yeah, it
I
didn't
mean,
work.
you can set up just like anything, like in sports. Okay,
Mhm.
you can
Mhm.
have the perfect game plan. You can have the perfect defense. You have the perfect offense, right? Run the
Mm-hmm.
perfect play. At the end of the day, you can set it up for the last shot. At the end of the day, it could be the perfect play. The guy still has to hit the shot.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're gonna miss that
Execute.
shot.
You
You're
could
gonna miss that
throw
shot more than you hit it.
you could throw the perfect pitch up until 3-2, and all the guy in the batter's box can do, and of course I'm referencing 1988, is call a timeout and make a guess of what the next pitch is. You throw your best, he does his best, and if he beats you, that's the ball game.
That's the ball game, yeah.
Kirk
But
Gibson, hello.
Yeah, thank
hello,
you.
yeah,
Biden.
yeah. With the what is it? With the fist pump
Yep. I
around the
mean,
Mhm.
bases.
Yeah,
listen,
just a minute. Hold on, wait, Brian.
Eckerson. Okay,
Just a minute.
sorry.
Thank you, Jay,
Jay Will.
Jay Will. If Biden is this cooked, who's running the country? Because it's clearly not Joe. Just
But
told you.
basically, this is it's just like any other administration, right?
Mhm.
This is a cabal. I'm not. Let me use another word. This is the administration that's running it behind the scenes, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and these people have been around during the Obama administration. So this is a
Mm-hmm.
carryover. Okay, all these people that you see around Joe, even including Joe, was all in on this back during the Obama administration. So they're
Yeah,
all it's one big team, and they need him as a figurehead to stay in place so they can keep doing whatever that is that they've been doing, right, or whatever they
Yep.
plan, which
Yep.
in my opinion
Yep.
hasn't worked that well. But still, it's what choice do they have, right? Because this is it.
Shut
They
up,
don't have
Andre.
any choice.
It's,
Yeah.
Andre
they need
talking about
something.
Biden needs some
He
compound.
need, he
They need
needs to
something.
go.
he needs a miracle.
No, he needs to go to get that super serum from Captain America, man. That's what he needs right
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
It's
And
not,
it's not that
it's
he can't. It's not that they can't come back. It's just unlikely. I mean, he
very
can run.
much
He can
so.
be
Okay, well,
perfect during the summers. It's
Very unlikely.
unlikely.
give me
Yeah, it's
give me
unlikely.
with Biden in his diminished capacity. What scenario can you think of, unless he gets
Okay.
better?
Well, I don't. I
None.
mean, like
Hold
I
on,
said,
hold
it's
on, hold on, hold
unlikely.
on.
Yeah, it's
Uh, uh,
unlikely.
so
It's
in
a
other, so in other words, what if you're doing this unless Biden uh, has an awakening? So has a spring,
mhm.
in his step, from now on, from the say the Democratic convention on. What are the odds? Because you're gonna have to campaign. Okay, you just
Yeah,
can't go in hiding.
30. I mean,
You can't
it's
live. You can't live on what
33%.
you've done before.
It's 33% because he's got one out of, and that number's down. I think it may be closer to 27%. It could be one out of five, but Nate Silver is pretty accurate with
Yeah.
538, and he did say he got it at 33%. And that number's changing because there's polls coming in, so it
And
could be closer to
when you have the
25%.
New York Times, okay, New York
Yeah,
Times coming out saying he needs to step
I
down.
agree. It's
That is,
bad.
and it's bad. Because I've been, because I'm not a local politics kind, domestic politics kind of guy, right? I'm
Yeah,
an international
Yeah.
politics kind of guy, and most of Europe, like at least 15 countries, have been betting on Biden to win this, right?
yeah,
Almost every one of them says he need to step down, okay,
yeah.
and they were pulling for him because they need him, okay.
Yeah,
That
and
tells
You
China
me,
know
and
something?
North Korea has reacted like they're going to have to deal with Trump, and Iran. They
yeah,
literally have said you're going
Okay,
to have to
hold on.
deal with
Wait,
another
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Trump
Wait a minute.
go ahead.
Things are bad, and I do mean bad. When European leaders are telling Biden to step down, and they know Trump's probably going to break up NATO.
Now, he's not going to break it up. What he's going to defund it, which is essentially the same thing. Um, because he said it. Well, he doesn't care about breaking it up. I mean, he can't break it up by himself. What he can do is defund it, which is something he almost did while he was in office the last time. And now that stuff that's gone down over the past 4 years, he's kind of pissed. So it probably will ebb and go away because it's The only thing that's been holding it up is basically American money and American might.
Mhm.
So, like he said, if Biden was in, if he was in office, the Ukraine thing would have never went down. Probably, right? The Gaza thing probably would have never went down. But
Right.
it is what it is. Okay, now, but things that did go down under your watch, and like I say, if you roll the dice and you win, okay, say you roll the dice, Ukraine thing happens, Russia gets set back to where it's on the verge of breaking up, okay, maybe maybe you have something going on. Say if Egypt does accept the Palestinians into the Sinai, and you get the award for cutting a Mideast peace deal. Okay, you're smelling pretty good. Basically, you're reversing all the gains that BRICS had. You can reverse all that stuff, right, and put America back
Yeah.
on top. But that's a big gamble. And guess what? The dice didn't roll right. Okay, so now you got all of this. I mean, you got so many things, man. You got black women in Chicago and New York hating your guts because of what you did
Ooh.
with migrants. Okay,
Well, yeah, and that they see the migrants like BGS is saying getting the butter biscuits that they were supposed to
exactly.
get by
Yes, they
keeping
are.
yeah
Yep.
by
and, guess,
keeping
and,
They
guess,
are.
and guess what?
black men and then arrested because somebody asked you a super chat question this
Yeah,
afternoon.
go ahead.
BGS,
What's that?
great video. It was the one is do black women keep black men in check
Yes, they
through
do.
white supremacy?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're like yeah they do, and they're supposed to keep black men in an arrested development while they get butter biscuits. Now that they see the immigrants are getting butter biscuits. Now they're like you said, they're going crazy. They're
uh,
going
uh,
nuts.
resurrect minds. You have no idea what the WEF is about. Okay,
Yeah.
you have no idea what they're about. So yeah, you're talking about their agenda. The WEF agenda is a European agenda, right? And what's going on right now with Europe is not what the WEF wants. Okay, they do not want the BRICS to assume their power.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're reading, okay, but I've been reading the WEF since 2008, okay, and what you saying as far is not true, sir. Okay, I don't know where you get your
Yeah.
where you get your analysis at, but it's wrong.
By the way, I got 34 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the hit the cash app. Support the show. Hit the super chat. Support the
So
show. What's
yeah,
going on, Ed?
now I trust I trust Craig because this is his specialty. This is bailiwick. So I take what Craig says,
Yeah.
very seriously, man. But thing is, I'd have to just, if he said there was a chance, man, I don't know, man.
Well, Nate Silver is fairly accurate, and
Mhm.
he had it before the debate. He
Yes,
had it at 33%. Now
yeah,
that number will change
yes.
because there's more numbers coming in. I personally think it's going to dip below 30%, but we'll get more numbers as we roll through July. But what you're seeing as
Yeah.
far as the Joy Reids and all these liberal commentators is that they actually thought the Supreme Court was going to say, yes, he can be prosecuted on A, B, C, and D. And it's like, no, it's not about Trump. It's about the next 10 presidents.
10 presidents, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they were saying because you cannot prosecute a president for presidential actions. It's I don't get why
It-
people don't
it-
understand that.
it's called black girl magic and
Oh,
manifestation. Okay.
Oh my God.
which isn't a policy. Yeah, there you
Uh,
go.
yeah. Policy has nothing to do with it. Black girl
Mhm.
magic rules. Okay.
Well,
Special,
that's what they
special laws for special people. Right.
that's what they get for
Yeah.
getting in the bed with black women. They pick up their bad habits, and you look how fucking stupid they look.
Ooh. Yep.
Shout out to Professor Black Truth for saying the quiet part out loud. BGS has charged that credit card too many times, talking about Kamala is the real problem. And I was thinking about that. I was like,
Why is
Republican,
You know what?
why
He's
is
not wrong
Kamala is
about
the, why is Kamala the real problem?
because if they would have had a competent president, a vice president, then they would have a segue. They would have somebody that could run this right there, ready made.
Uh huh.
B, they would have somebody that can maintain the stuff and they can rally around. They can't do that, and they can't get rid of it. That's not the problem. The problem is they can't force her out. And then if she accepts leaving, then what did you just say, BGS? You
Who,
think
who,
black women are not
who
gonna hate your guts more?
outside of Michelle Obama? Okay. Who would be a competent vice president to run against Trump?
I
What do
mean,
you
we've
mean?
had that
Anybody?
conversation.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we
no.
had a.
I'm asking. What I'm saying is, give me a name, okay?
I
To
mean,
run
well,
against him?
They're going against it. We'll say because it was going to be Kamala Harris, right?
Right,
Versus or the vice VP, whoever that person is,
right.
run against Trump. Who's that person?
Oh, there is nobody.
yeah,
The most popular person is Michelle Obama, but she would lose too.
I
She
think
would lose.
I think Michelle Obama would sweep Trump under the
I think
dustbin.
so.
Yeah,
Maybe in a second debate she could, but
no,
man, that would be
I'm talking about with all the stuff that's whining around Trump,
mhm.
and then the love of the Obama name of Michelle Obama would carry a whole bunch of the middle class white women, and she probably would beat Trump fairly handily.
That's actually pretty
Trump
astute.
every day.
It would carry. They
yeah. The
probably
problem,
would. She could at least get their ear.
the
But yeah,
problem
that's
is,
actually
the problem is she don't
observable.
want to.
She don't want to do it.
Yeah, she won't do it. Yeah.
She don't want to
She's
do
on
it. That,
She's on
but
that Colin
but
Powell's white type. But I don't want to do it.
I always ask this. Okay, you say the problem is Kamala Harris. Give me a name
Well,
that
what I'm saying is
uh,
that's the second problem. If they could, even if they had a name, they can't. They can't. Like they're in a rock and a hard place. They have to run Biden because if they would have had, my point is they had. If they had, I'm not talking about if they had somebody else that they could replace her with. I'm saying that her being in the VP, if they had a name, they
okay.
can't make her
What what I'm
career. Her political career
what
is
I'm
over.
saying is in a perfect world, okay, say
Hmm.
that you could seamlessly replace her, okay, say like a year ago, 2 years ago, even from the very beginning when he first picked her, right? Who would that person be?
Well, they would have had more time. Like they would have more time.
Yeah, yeah, who would that person be?
Well, they could have worked it with Gavin again. Like then, okay. So let me say this right now:
Okay,
saying doing something in 6 months is not the same thing as doing something in 4 years.
I understand. What
Also, also,
I'm
I'm
asking
about to
for a perfect world. I'm asking for a
I'm
name.
I'm about to ask you in
Okay.
a better world, Biden wouldn't have been a liar, and Biden would have did what he actually said, which is he was only running one term, which they would have either had Kamala or had other people. I mean, if you want to talk about give you a name, if we're going to talk about perfect world, because in a perfect world, Michael Bloomberg, I get he's 82, but he's spry for 4 years. He doesn't go to that church and look stupid in a perfect world.
Would Michael Bloomberg be enough?
I think Michael Bloomberg would be an option. We're not talking about a
Uh,
guaranteed win, but
I'm
would he be an option? Yeah, he would be a viable option. Now,
well, there's tons of options. What I'm saying is, in a perfect world, you're saying that the problem is Kamala Harris. I said, if you you plug her, you take her out and plug somebody else in, who would that
are you
person be?
talking about
Outside of
by
maybe just maybe on the outside, Gavin
oh,
Newsom,
you're
maybe,
talking about oh okay, so
maybe,
you're
yeah,
talking about if you remove her and you rewind the clock
and
and then
rewind
who's
the clock, yeah.
vice president. And then it's got to be somebody. I'll even add this in here to be fair. It's got to be somebody that can regularly get, have Biden actually winning. Okay, because that's what
Somebody with enough charisma and personality to actually win. Okay.
Right.
Kamala was ID. I mean, you can say if shit, the way Kamala's acting now, me knowing how she performs, fuck it, Tulsi Gabbard. You want to? I can
I,
throw a lot of game because
I,
she's
I,
done a bad job.
Tulsi Gabbard would have been my, what she actually was my pick for a female VP if you're gonna
If you
pick.
talk, if you talking about somebody that they're gonna have 4 years, it's
Yeah,
like you might be called and
yeah,
you do this. The advantage that she has
yeah.
is
But
here's the hold on, I'll say this and I'll let you go. The one key advantage she has above
mm,
all of them
hmm
is her youth, and she could probably unite a lot of different blocks just off of age because she can actually speak more to a lot of the shit that a lot of motherfuckers are tired of, which will actually activate more votes than even what a lot of these motherfuckers could that they're not even really looking at activate. So yeah,
Unfortunately, from what I've heard, Tulsi's going the other way.
yeah, she's more conservative, which probably would help. But what I'm saying is that if you could run back the clock, if you could do that, but even with Tulsi Gabbard, I don't think she has enough personality and enough bandwidth to beat Trump in a race.
well, I mean, my thing is you got to remember we're talking about 4 years of Trump
Even
Exactly.
4 years ago, I don't think she has enough.
Kamala definitely doesn't have it. Kamala
Yeah,
didn't have it from the start.
I understand. Much like who was Bush's vice president? What was homeboy's name? The
Dick
kid?
Cheney.
No. The other Bush
Oh my
one.
bad. It's
Oh,
Oh,
biased.
Dan Quayle. Dan
Dan
Quayle.
yeah, Dan
Quayle.
Quayle. Yeah.
Dan Quayle. Basically, Tulsi Gabbard would be Dan Quayle. Okay,
Shouldn't
he's
spit
I
the
mean,
potato.
competent, but not. But I don't think there's enough juice
the
to
thing
rest.
is, they'll give her some. They'll give her the "I'm a woman" magic
No,
book,
it's not enough. It's not
and she
enough.
can. But here's the thing: it's not at this point. Like when we're talking about beating, it's not even like the problem with the Democrats is it's like motherfucker, y'all need to let go of the beating Trump shit. Y'all are about to put the Republicans. First of all, you're
If
about to put the Republicans in a situation where they're going to take capital. They're going
it's
to take a lot of shit because of what
a lot of stuff they then this is probably I'm gonna say it anyway. Fuck it. A lot of stuff that they rolled out, man. You can't unwind, right? Like I said, Trump pretty much hit all the stuff I thought he would hit. Right. Number one is inflation. Number two, immigration, migration, for lack of
Right.
a better term. Right. Number three is the war, the two wars that you got going on. Right. You can't have all three of those things at the same time, like the four horsemen, and that's not including, Medicare, Social Security, the debt, and all the other kind of stuff that's going on, man. Which is, I mean, you have too many dogs chasing the Biden administration all at once, man. I don't care who you are, okay? And basically, Trump didn't do very. He didn't really have to do very much.
no,
Yeah, he
Trump just
did. He really didn't.
no. Trump's job was be you, but be you at like 65% because past that is you're liable to fuck
You
it
know,
up.
it basically what I could play. Basically, don't fuck it up. Basically, because basically, after the first 5 minutes, Trump is basically playing defense. Just don't fuck it up. Just go ahead and let him melt down.
And he played defense, and he actually played defense very well. Like I'm
Yes.
talking about for Trump, because
Yeah.
you got to see. Here's the issue: the problem you have with Trump is I it's weird I compare him to Fresh and Fit, but
Yeah, they are.
once. But
Yeah.
yeah, because if you take like see with her feeds, from the what is it, the roommates.
Hmm.
Once he stepped out of there the first time, and you realize, like people realize, people go to that show for the interview, not for you, guy. And
Hmm.
he took that one hit, he
Yeah.
couldn't come back from it. Versus
He ain't
Fresh
that
and
guy.
and
Yeah.
actually, yeah, versus Fresh and Fit, when
Yeah.
they lost 40,000 subscribers and they were still there, demonetized. Each time, you're more used to them being there, so
Yeah.
it has some insane like underage girl type shit in order
Yeah.
to really.
It's basically it's what Maury Povich, not Maury, but what is it? What was the guy's name for uh Jerry Springer
Jerry Springer.
for
Those
for frat
motherfuckers,
boys. That's what it
damn,
was.
those motherfuckers could be like related. But you know who
Yeah.
else is like that? But somebody that I like,
Mhm.
that single mother dude, Brandon Jamal, because he went into a situation. He's sitting here crying on on saying this thing because
Yeah.
he wasn't crying like a bee, but he did that because he was there. He said the other thing. He said, "I don't handle betrayal. I don't handle betrayal well." And he came back with a song called "Motherfucker the Sex Worker Saver."
Yeah, but I think he's himself. I think
The
sometimes
authenticity, I think, helps him.
sometimes people need to have what is it, a, a, PR person, right, to tell them exactly how to handle themselves. Because if Brandon Jamal basically comes to Fresh and Fit and
Mhm.
keeps his temper and doesn't say too much, cracks a couple jokes, he probably doubles his money. Okay.
No, yeah, he is messing his money up, but there's going out like a fees, and then there is what he's doing. Because the thing about it is, the more that happens,
Mm-hmm.
that becomes okay. That's normal. Just so, like for instance, when his sister, Satan the Sinner, went and got his sister,
Mm-hmm.
and then basically his
Yeah.
sister started. See the way he handled that though, by actually telling her something, it was the way he handled it, not like getting
Mm-hmm.
mad and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The thing is, people start to get that starts to be normalized. So it's the same thing with Tommy, even though it kind of worked against Tommy because Tommy was pissing the wrong people off. But anyway, back to Fresh and Fit, you're used to it. So with Trump, it's not shocking off. You're used.
What I'm saying is what makes Trump Trump is him being unpredictable, right? Him being fun, him being saying kind of dumb shit. But he didn't have to. He didn't have to do none of that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, he's
No,
asymmetrical. If you're preparing for a debate against somebody asymmetrical, you
Yeah.
have to be ready to go. As soon as he said stuff about the money with NATO. That he wasn't right about that. Biden tried to do it, but he got the numbers jumbled up, and it just like I said to me, you got Kamala Harris talking about 20 acres and a mule. And then you got Joe Biden talking about they cut Medicare. They say Medicare. I'm like, man,
20 acres and a mule.
Yeah, that's how effed up they are. She said, I thought it was a joke.
In other words, they thought that Trump was going to hit him with what Swiker said about Medicare and Social Security in 5 years, right?
Mhm.
And he screwed it up.
Yeah,
and Trump
you're
didn't.
debating
Trump
somebody
didn't have to
asymmetrical.
bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah, when you make somebody asymmetrical, like Trump, they got exactly out of Trump what they thought they were going to get. The thing that the Democrats just don't understand is Trump has told everybody exactly what he's going to do, and people are okay with it. And Democrats haven't accepted that. That's
the thing is that at the end of the day, and this is at the end of the day, all politics is bread and butter. Okay.
Yeah. It's
bread and butter. And there's no bread and there's no butter. Okay. You screwed up the bread and butter politics just for the basic people, right? Not you. That's excluding the big things. Okay.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, just like with Trump, okay, you could run against Trump all day long, but the thing at the end of the day, it was bread and butter. It's about COVID.
Let's have a little fun, guys. I got a little fun here. There's this knucklehead on TikTok. You might have seen him, Ed. Harry Sisson. This don't feel bad. He's a little knucklehead that the Democrats are paying to spread the propaganda. I want you to just listen to this little short of his.
Okay.
So Donald Trump's campaign manager just threatened me on social media. I'm not joking. In response to the immunity decision from the Supreme Court this morning, I said on Twitter, according to the Supreme Court, Biden can now send in SEAL Team 6 to take them all out. He can send in the military to take out Trump. He has immunity for official acts now. And
you want to tell him the problem with that?
Why does he sound like a little girl, like a little
female?
He's a little. He's 21 years old. He's a little boy.
Oh God, who cares what a 21-year-old thing?
So you trying to rile up all the little teeny boppers or something like that?
Yeah.
This is their Gen Z outreach. Don't look at me.
No, this got to be Gen A outreach because Gen Z is a little smarter than that.
Like because
Trump's manager just threatened me. Oh my God, what he threaten you with, sir?
Oh no,
I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe.
Let me finish it.
I guess the Trump campaign didn't like that very much because Trump's campaign manager, Chris LaCivita, responded to me by saying, expect a visit. Now, what do you think that means? Is the
Secret Service? The Secret Service will come and visit you.
Based on what you said,
you get everything from Secret Service.
I would send a bear to your door because you might feel safer.
The visit isn't a director.
Bad BGS. No,
I send a bear to your door. Hey man, I send a bear to your door so you can feel safe. Okay.
This is how I would handle it.
Oh man, you ain't shit, BGS. God damn.
And I have a little sign here. Hold this for a second. What is this? Drizzle. Okay.
More like Grizzle.
Fuck them Cubs.
Yeah.
I just have a quick question that I would like to ask.
Can y'all hear me?
I can barely hear you, Andre, but I can hear you, Edward. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Maple Leaf.
Go ahead, Andre.
Turn it up, Maple Leaf.
I got to switch headsets. I'm outside right now.
All right,
just speak up, man.
Yeah, like I have a quick question that I want to ask the panel. Is that what are you guys' thoughts on this? Because I haven't heard anybody else mention this. Like during that debate, I can't remember the exact line of conversation that was being had, but Trump brought up the crime bill when talking about like black people.
He's talking about Biden's past, about him being anti-black. That's what he's trying to bring up the crime bill about. That's why.
Exactly. I was just wondering what you guys' thoughts are.
Yeah, it's something that, I mean, it's a low blow. He didn't really have to do it, but thing is that a lot of people call Trump racist, right? And they talk about Trump's racist past, his policies, right? And they always bypass Biden's role in getting a crime bill passed against black men.
94 crime bill.
Yeah, so that's why he brought it up.
Yeah, and Donald Trump hasn't put any policy out specifically to target people
No.
that we know about this public,
Right.
whereas it Biden did.
Yeah.
And yes, he had other people there with him, but overall, he's seen as the father of that bill. And
I heard that him damn near called George Bush Senior a bitch for not passing the crime bill.
oh yeah, possibly,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
But
Oh,
again, he's always
I
been a-
play. He did everything but call George Bush Senior a bitch. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah.
Tim Scott has advised Trump, and just to say, anytime stuff is said about racism, you just bring up the '94
Bring up a
crime bill,
crime
and there's
bill.
yeah, you just bring it up because you didn't pass that. He did write an op-ed calling for the deaths of those 5 men that were innocent, and yeah, it would be. I thought it would behoove him to just come out and apologize. He's made a mistake. But overall, yeah, that '94 crime bill is, and Yvette Carnell talked about this when BGS, you played that video. Ultimately, that's why black men don't care for Joe Biden. It's just going to come down to that '94 crime bill. That's it. In the discussion, that's all you got to say. '94 crime bill, and somebody's daddy got locked up, somebody's cousin got locked up, whatever. Somebody's mama got locked up because of that '94 crime bill. So
Yeah, like Craig, that's kind of like where I was leading to, because I was just wondering, do you think this will have an impact on black voters?
it already has on black men who because they're outside looking in, meaning black men aren't as dependent on the government as the women are, and that was a choice the women made. So by being outside, it's put black men in a catbird seat where they and white married women are the most important voting blocks going into this electorate. The way the electorate is moving, those are your two biggest voting blocks. And white women that are married generally vote with their husbands generally. So if that goes to code and then they drop down to like 65% with the black vote, then you could see a landslide. You could see a 5-point election, which would be just a blowout.
There is honestly the Democrats, in a perfect world, black people would basically carve fucking liberals out of. Unfortunately, liberals are a lot of the donor base, but they would carve liberals out of the fucking party, like literally lock the Democrats down to the point where all that shit gets dialed back.
Not possible because most of your black intelligentsia is liberal.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's and that's why I can't stand people like FD Centerfire, because they're part. I see them as part of the problem. I see them as one of the main people you're gonna have to deal with to remove that benign neglect bullshit, because they're gutless. The black intelligentsia, and when I say it, I know there's different sides of that. You got the business side, and they're not all the same, but like especially the academic side, as far as I'm concerned. These motherfuckers might as well be Richard Spencer to me. I see no different, because literally them being there enables a lot of stuff to happen to not happen. They are literally like agents for the Matrix. They hold the cards, and the problem with black people is no, we need an audit. Like we really need to start auditing people, and it's just so much bullshit. But anyway,
good luck.
But like, them black, yeah, good luck. But like you said it before, BGS, this shit gonna correct itself.
It will correct itself. It's already like Swiker says. You got 5 years, and
black women are already feeling that. I'm talking about their own little self correction, because my thing is, you can say fuck black men, cool. Them bringing them migrants, them Latinas want to take because black women are overrepresented in a lot of shit, and there's a lot of shit that them Latinas the white people have been holding them back from really replacing. So when they talk about the goofy shit like colorism and shit, they already want to take all the welfare, all that money that could be redirected to their community, and they have no protection because literally the Democratic Party is trying to get away from black people, and I don't know why black women think they can get away from black people but still fuck with them. They're the main ones that are in bed with the Democratic Party. I don't understand how y'all don't understand that. But then again, when you start looking at it, you got all these immigrants that are supposed to be representing our interests. They don't care. They think they're gonna have a seat at the end of the day.
Well, I had said over 2 years ago that I talked to 2 black female Democratic operatives. These were operatives, and they said that they were going to be moving black people. They're moving away from black people because there's no more money there. They were going to start embracing Latinos,
Yep.
the Asian community, and even Native Americans. And that was I said that on a panel a few years ago.
It's called people of color.
Yeah, and so they
Yep.
can just push black people out. That includes the women. So the women are, it's right, the women are feeling the heat now because the butter biscuits are going to the Latinos. And those are supposed to be their butter biscuits.
If I was Nikki Haley, I'd switch parties.
Nick Haley,
yeah. She's more of a Democrat than a Republican anyway.
Yeah, to me, she's a blue dog Democrat based on what she said, not how she's voted. But yeah, as far as what she said.
But at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff the Democrats can't get done without black folks. And here's the thing. Well, okay, we'll do the Latinos. Here's the problem. The Latinos think they're next up to be white. And number two, they vote that way and they got that Catholicism going. So they're not going to go with a lot of that liberal shit y'all be fucking talking about. So yeah, you'll have a party, but the liberals won't be running the shit. That's the thing. All that ultra feminism, they're not on that. Not really. And you bringing them immigrants over here, guess what? They really not on that. So their women are not as acculturated. And those men, they will get violent because they haven't been, it's not the same situation as like in America where black men have been fucked with for decades upon decades. They always got their own country. So they can crash out on these women. And these women know that, by the way. So all this, so it's not the same thing. And the thing that I think is, I think a lot of these people are playing a gambit. They're playing a gambit with shit they don't really, they think they know what they're getting. I think it's just like feminism. They think they know what they're getting up until the women are supposed to take on a responsibility and they act like they don't want to do that. And then they're like, oh, fuck. Because the truth is, these Latinos, a lot of these Latinos are not liberal like that. You think you're not going to give them money? Like you think the government don't be giving them money in the country they come from, or they're not more socialist or shit like that? I know they don't have the money, but what do you think you're doing? And here's another thing too that people don't think about. You act like the white folks are going to accept that. The problem with bringing a whole bunch of Hispanics is the same thing. Bring a whole bunch of Muslims in Europe. You're changing the architecture of the country. And the thing about the blacks is the whites, whether racist or not, are used to the blacks being there because the blacks are not changing the architecture of the country. You know, not in a way that they're like, this can't happen. These motherfuckers can't stand that press too for Spanish. They can't stand seeing shit in Spanish. They see that as an invasion. And motherfuckers out here thinking, well, the black people are not there. Well, at least the blacks could speak English. I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So they underestimate, and that's not just Republicans either. They because them liberals can talk that shit all they want to, but them liberals don't want to be around them like that. And they have their own culture, and you're bringing them in here so fast, they don't have to assimilate. And so as they start, it's the same thing with like Ann Coulter versus Vivek Ramaswamy. You know, it's the same kind of sentiment. And so
my favorite political cunt.
So anyway,
she is, man. She's my favorite political cunt. She's a cunt.
Well, that's right. The other groups of women chose their culture, whereas that black women chose butter biscuits. So when these other cultures are coming in, whether it doesn't matter, Native Americans, those women chose their culture. The Latino women chose their culture. The Asian women, Japanese or Chinese, chose their culture. Black women are the only ones that chose the butter biscuits. And all other women got, could have got butter biscuits too, but they chose the culture. So as they come in, they're bringing their culture, and that is more of an underlying threat. How that gets handled is, I don't know. I did agree with SWP when he said if they want illegal immigrants out, they just have to arrest the people that are hiring them. That's it. That will stop the immigration. They know they can't get jobs. They'll fire that. They'll arrest the people hiring them.
Yes,
but those people have given the Congress money, dark money, but they turn their backs on it. And
also Social Security. They take Social Security and taxes away from them. They don't get benefit from it. So it also helps with funding your Social Security plans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that go on with that. Go ahead.
What'd you say about that boy? He's for not Gen Alpha, not Gen Z.
That's who he's talking to. Talking like a little girl. Well, I don't feel safe from the Trump's party.
Well, I mean, that's him trying to be funny, but at the end of the day, man, he think as a white dude, first of all, you cannot say that shit about candidates. Like you think you try to, oh, well, I'm trying to be funny. That shit ain't funny. And see, I get it. You're white. You don't understand. You don't know. Even Boyce Watkins, that dude that they killed, they shot some folks just because he bought a product from Boyce Watkins, like a course about business education. They knocked on his door. They've knocked on Tariq Nasheed's door. So yeah, I understand. You're white. You don't understand. They can Waco your ass in a second. You can talk. You're lucky you even still have a platform doing that shit, especially on
Oh yeah.
TikTok, where they already on what they on about TikTok. So the fact you can still talk, well, you think like at the end of the day, Trump has been a president. So it's not like you can't do that with a candidate, let alone like somebody that's been a
A former
president. Because
president.
especially with Trump, because motherfuckers took shots at Reagan. And Trump is way more hated than dude. You can't say that. And if you weren't white, you wouldn't be talking to talk shit. You would have been off of YouTube, fired from your job, whatever the fuck ever. You would have been out here crying. Like so. And probably he sounds like a little girl too. That probably helped. But
Yeah, he's a little prick in college, so
I mean, yeah, you
You
see
sound
that
like
on
those.
TikTok. Yeah, they ain't saying shit. They ain't saying shit because most of
that,
them they're
that's
just
why when I first heard, it, I'm like, this is their Gen Z outreach. Good lord, this is like who's he going to convince?
well, well, at the end of the day, I
All
mean,
the non-cisgendered Gen Zs, huh?
well, I mean,
I guess.
in a perfect world, they would have did something because what they try to make it sound like is about reparations. It really isn't. It's really about this benign neglect. And what they want to do is they want to have it's like they're trying to do what bitches do. They want to have the other person that they can date before they break up with you. And unfortunately, because black women, here's the truth, black women don't know what to do. Like if the Democratic Party, like I've said it before and I say it again, the gynocracy is funded by white supremacy. Mainly the Democrat side. If that's not there, it's done to undermine the black community. If that's not there, black women don't have nothing. All this fake ass, I'm a 92. By the way, BJ, you said who else? What about Susan? Even though I can't stand the bitch. What about Susan Rice?
As far as what?
As far as potential vice president, she don't got a
No.
personality.
She's been she be an okay vice president. She knows what she's doing. She doesn't have a personality though. She
I'm talking
can't
about
run.
vice president to run for president.
Yeah, she doesn't have enough personality to do that. She's not. She won't be very well liked. She's not a very well liked person.
Oh yeah, when she said what she said about Snoop Dogg, talking about we're gonna get the military and they
Yeah,
shut her the fuck up.
yeah, oh
When
yeah.
I was
Because
like, bitch, I don't know what the fuck she
yeah,
got
you're
that
not
money.
supposed to do that. Yeah, that's way out of bounds for something like this. You just don't use part of the United States just because um, he said
You
something
mad at
salty
black
to
You
your
people.
thought
friend.
your
And
childhood
he
friend. Yeah,
and the thing about it is he said what he said because that motherfucker said something about Kobe after he died.
Yeah, regardless of what he said, okay, you're not supposed to threaten uh, uh, government power like that. So she
yeah.
was
I
out of
didn't know
line.
she got in trouble for that though. But
Yeah,
okay.
she did get in trouble for it, but thing is, she took a hit for it, but Snoop Dogg did back down. So
Yeah, it was Snoop Dogg because Snoop Dogg don't want to because he you know how he is. I mean, once he went to that damn table talk shit, I was like, yeah, you go.
yeah,
He
what
Yeah,
he got a phone call, okay, and basically get one of those
yeah,
phone calls. Unless you just that dude, then you will back down. Same thing with Tate. Okay, you get
yes.
that phone call, you will back down.
I just wanted to quickly say when like Trump was talking about immigration, like I was thinking about AB did a stream, like one of his last streams, I believe it was AB that said this, that was talking about like even the like illegal immigrants are against more migrants coming
What illegal immigrants are we talking about?
Hispanic.
No, they're called migrants now, sir.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I was getting to that.
They're not illegal anymore. Okay.
No,
oh yeah.
I meant
They're
more like the ones that
migrants.
are already in the country. I was talking. I was gonna say migrants to the ones like coming in now.
They're called migrants now because they're not illegal anymore because they're being allowed in. They're undocumented, but they're not illegal.
Are they gonna still be illegal if Trump gets in there?
Now there will still be migrants because Biden allowed them in. Okay, he basically allowed them in, flew them in. In fact, there's pictures of the border patrol actually making sure nobody drowns in the river as they
And
cross
so why are black people voting for the Democratic Party again?
because 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 of habit.
Well,
Yeah,
BGS, even worse than
because
that.
Your mama
because
told you to.
yeah, Big Mama pretty much, Big Mama.
Well,
I
BGS, even
told
worse
you to
than that.
choose Biden.
Because I was watching the stream outside of space. I told you this a while back. Like
Mm.
they're apparently calling them non-citizens now, not even migrants.
Well, they are. Well, basically, a migrant is a non-citizen. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about just the way they're phrasing it.
The thing is, why are they phrasing it this way all of a sudden? Okay, because when we start talking about it, they're called illegal immigrants. Why the sudden change? Because you're allowing them in. Okay, they're not illegal. They're only legal if they cross without permission.
Hmm.
You can't call them illegal immigrants and give them a debit card to get food
That is a good point.
or housing or something like that. Okay, so they had to get rid of illegally they had gotten rid of that a long time ago. They just didn't tell you because they didn't want to take that hit. But now they got to take that hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to uncover this stuff because that's why I know that's why they hate me. Know why they hate the black manosphere because I will say the quiet part out loud. I said, "Damn."
Yeah,
Said,
yeah, and then you got
the greasy motherfucker peeped our whole card. Damn. Now we got to go
Well,
ahead and talk about it.
since you brought that up, there was actually this one dude was bringing up that there's actually an article. It was on MSNBC. It was talking about
Hmm.
how it it actually specifically said the black manosphere is misinforming people on like the current election process going on.
Who was this guy?
Like I'm not sure who the author of the article was, but it was on MSNBC. But the problem with it is that in that article, so that
They actually named the black manosphere.
yeah, they did.
Oh,
Like
good, man. Oh,
try to,
man. I need to clip that one, man. Find out where you found it, man. I need to clip that.
it,
I need to put
yeah,
that
it
in
was
my
on it was on MSNBC, and like,
Oh,
but the problem is like the names that they listed as Black Manosphere content creators, they
hmm
were talking about just pearly things. They said fresh and fit. They were
that
talking
that's
about
not they're not black manosphere.
you're
exactly.
talking about that shit that MCR was talking about, or
I,
like
I
in that.
I don't watch NPR, so I wouldn't know.
Oh,
Okay,
so basically what they're trying to do is replace us, the black manosphere, with these people. Okay.
And like the
Hmm.
names on that list, like apart from the ones that I mentioned, they also
Uh huh.
said Candace Owens. They said the Breakfast Club, and they were talking
Yeah,
about like some
they're trying to
someone else.
what they're trying to do is replace you. It's called substitution. They try to substitute us with the people that they want to be in power.
yeah, I mean it's probably. Like, yeah, they've been trying to subterfuge the internet, take control of the internet, take control of the narrative. I mean, they actually do a good job, kind of low key talking about this, like on the Boys TV show with
Hmm.
Sister Sage, the black chick. Yeah, using social media to interact with it, and the thing about it is like everybody believes the government lies to you, but it's kind of funny how when you actually go into the details of what these things are, it's a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people don't know what they don't know. Black people, white people, again, even with the black people vote for Democrats as a habit. If you ask black people why are you voting, if you ask a typical black, I'm not here caping for the Republicans either, by the way. I'm just saying, telling the truth. If you're out here saying, okay, you should vote Democrat, tell me why. What's the short term, medium term, long term reason?
You gotta get
And then
Trump out.
no, then it becomes all this. You must be caping for the Republicans and trying to slow up. That's their only reason. That their only reason to voting for the Democrats is to not vote for the Republicans. And I'm like, once affirmative action got like fucked with in school, regardless of who did it, that should have already crossed that bridge with you because there's no way that happens if the Democrats don't allow that to happen.
No,
Like,
sir.
it's so
Like
many things that gotta happen before that happens. Meaning they've been like for it to get to that point, that means they've been letting certain things go in order to get you to have to feel like the only thing you can do is vote for the Democrats while they go court somebody else and not deal with you no more.
To quote a liberal white woman, "What about my son?" Right?
Hmm.
In other
Yeah,
words,
and they
you broads got my son's job. That's what's going on. White women are probably the biggest opponents of affirmative action in the United States. Okay, and not talk about just conservative white women, liberal white women.
Mm. You want the son to have a job, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and black
Period.
and yeah, and what did I say? Nobody has ever taken, even though that's fucking retarded. Because the reality is, it's not black people don't have the numbers to do that. So y'all gonna be running that same shit when these Hispanics start taking your shit, because they are coming. When it comes to that blue collar shit, like and these rich white folks are gonna be saving money. That you think they just gonna stay in construction and stay in the other stuff. They coming for all of that shit, and they're gonna come with numbers, and they're gonna come with doing it on the cheap. And the white people have demonstrated they will do it, and they will put those other white women against those lower class white women. They shut up, take the
Mm,
money, shut up, and stay in this house. And you know how white people are with class,
mm,
so they'll be on that. So it's kind of like it comes back to blaming black people for everything. And so if black people are not around, what you really gonna do? Every
Right.
like it's funny how that works, man. Like black men, black people are breathing the right man. But as far as women, here's another thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Nobody's never taken more from the black woman than the white woman. Nobody kisses the ass of the white woman more than the black woman. This is why
Yep.
when BJ is talking about what that chick said, and I understand her individually. After that, once white black women, they're the main ones that will lose out from affirmative action, because affirmative action don't help. It helps black men, but black men still gotta prove their worth, because a woman can be a double minority. So I
oh,
mean,
mhm. I'm
it,
asking this: why do all these people that mention Project 2025 have never even read the document?
Oh, don't get me started. Ugh.
Well,
repeat
real
shit
quick, BGS.
The
I
damn
just
thing's
posted.
900 pages. How many people? How many of you people that bring up Project 2025 have even read it?
Real quick, BGS. I posted the link in the back chat to the article I was talking about.
Okay, yeah, I want to pin. I want to
Wait a
click
minute.
this.
I'll have some fun here. But BGS, Taraji P. Henson has read it.
Oh, has she? Did
No,
she?
no, but she mentioned it during the BT Awards.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, you're like, Heifer, you didn't read that. Come on now.
at the
She's
end of
like,
the
man, you
day.
writing about
Oh,
Project 2025.
AB boss Ed, let me ask y'all a question. While I've been listening and been behind the scenes with y'all, I happened to scroll to ABC News right quick, and I seen something. They just said the Supreme Court decided to uphold uh, uh, Trump with the fact that they go what was they alluding to, something about they were not gonna whatever the convictions on it was, they go use some presidential type of executive thing that still shields him or whatnot.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
my
yeah. We talked about it at the beginning, and basically, he's immune for presidential acts when he was in office.
There is
so
no
that
way.
means the Democrats in them can't even bring up January
It, in
6th no
another,
more.
the only way to actually get a president for something he did in office is called what, sir? Impeachment. Only Congress
Yep.
can do that shit. Court can't do it.
Yeah, and number one, you're gonna have to beat him in the fuck. Number one, he picked a couple of them people. Number two, you have to beat him. I don't know why y'all thought y'all was just gonna end like with a white man. I don't know why y'all thought y'all was gonna run that shit. Like,
No, that white man, they thought they was gonna just him up like that. Hell
yeah,
no.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Y'all put all, like BGS said it. They put all, like, the thing about it is they bet it all. Like, it's like you bet it all in multiple fronts. All right, you got the geopolitical, you bet it all,
Right.
and then you got the political, you bet it all. You got the domestic, and some of that stuff intertwines. I get it. You bet it all, and it's like everything is break. Like you bet it all three times, and you don't got one leg to stand on. Literally every leg blew up. That tells me whoever's in there is fucking stupid. I'm not even talking about it. I'm talking about everybody else. And I'm talking about in the party. All y'all, Nancy too. All y'all fucking stupid. Like the reality, like it is so Schumer's fucking stupid. All of y'all are fucking
You,
stupid.
you know,
Right.
BGS, I think BGS hit it on the nail. All this shit that they're putting against Trump would have killed another politician. And yet the Democrats still find a way to lose to this dude.
Well, they're not finding a way to lose. I mean, Trump is over, like the shit they're doing, because it's not just Trump. Look at the geopolitical shit they did. Look at the
Yeah.
the domestic bets they made. It ain't just Trump, because here's the thing, even Russia is not the most confident. Like Putin is Putin, but you know what I'm saying. A lot of this is these are bad plays. These are bad plays, and it's like, and look, notice that this shit didn't happen. Like Obama had what the Benghazi shit. That's it. Well, that ain't it. But you know what I'm saying? And everybody blows that up like that's just the worst thing in the world. Versus compare like Obama's fuck ups, Fast and Furious, and been
Mm-hmm.
to like all this shit. Like it's like damn. And this is 4 years. Remember, Obama had 8 years,
Speaking
and
of
that's what
Obama,
they.
I have to shut. You know what, Ed? I gotta shut Obama out. He warned us. Do not underestimate Joe Biden's ability to fuck things up.
It ain't just Biden, though. Like, first of all, it ain't even mainly Biden. You gotta understand, but Biden and his cognitivity, it is not just like how with Bush, even though Bush was the decider at the end of the day, a lot of that was Dick Cheney and Rumsfeld. And yeah, Bush is in there too. But president is a figurehead, and yeah, they're the decider, but who cooks up all this shit, the CIA, all this other shit, you know,
Yeah,
for
your front man has to be competent enough to actually run.
yeah, no,
Uh,
absolutely, no, absolutely. You're talking from a political standpoint. I'm talking about who
Yeah,
is cooking plans up. Like,
if your administration goes down with him,
well,
okay.
no, I
Mm-hmm.
get that, but I'm talking about the bets in general. I'm not even talking about the
Oh,
political side.
yeah.
I'm talking like, for instance, George H.W. Bush knew when to tell Dick Cheney to shut the fuck up, versus
hmm
his son didn't, because his son, older, is a different dynamic. Plus, HW was in the CIA. So he was in multiple levels. He knows what it's like to be on the other side of that shit with Reagan, telling Reagan he's gonna fuck shit up, then having to deal with the shit that he did while he looks like the great guy, and HW looks like the bad guy.
real quick, BTS, what are your thoughts on this? Because Trump said during that debate that basically you had to bring charges against me just because I was running against you, which you've mentioned quite a few times in the past.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. What's the big deal? You know.
I know he was waiting for me to be this, but yeah, that's true. I mean, shit. BJ is like, this is too much of a simple question for me to unmute my mic. But no,
No, because somebody else mentioned this. I'm not sure who. It was somebody in the fucking government that was talking about this recently. That was saying that the only reason why that they
You
brought
might
all
be
these
talking
charges
about
against him.
Cuomo.
Yeah, it was one of them people.
Andrew Cuomo came out and said that because I told BGS about it.
yeah, but
During
BGS has been saying that. He said that, Hillary took the deal, Trump didn't. And by the way, this is why men make more money than women, ladies and gentlemen.
hmm
You,
and
you,
Hillary
you,
Clinton
you
still paid for that.
retire out early and take the deal. Clinton, but she said, okay. Trump said, fuck that, you gonna pay me, mom. This is why we
Well,
get paid.
Trump was obviously lying because he was talking about like, well, I'd rather be relaxing at one of my many properties, but since you're not running the country properly, I have to run again. You already know he's lying about that, but
Yeah, but the thing is, most of them were like, the thing is, like, I covered the debate live. I actually streamed it live. Well, not streamed it, but I did on my phone. It's just blah blah blah. And yeah, I called out a lot of shit. A lot of shit Trump was lying. But the thing about it is, a lot of shit. There's things that, even if you look at the questions that matter, some of the stuff was asked, but the second half was just complete garbage. The
hmm
first stuff is stuff I can see why that was in there, but the second half was like complete garbage. The reality of the situation is they ain't really talking about housing like that. There's a lot of stuff they're not talking about. Think about what they want to talk about. They want to talk about health, child care. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, especially when you understand what the Democrats are doing with black women in the first place. They like so if you take that debate at face value, and that's not your fault. It's just the quality of the debate. You're not gonna learn a lot by
hmm
looking at it at face value. You have to like have a lot of kind of understanding of like what led up to this. And here's the thing: the media ain't saying shit. Man, it's been a long time since I actually sat down and watched any of the media shit. And the shit, they're not saying shit. They're not. It's so much stuff they should be talking about that they're not talking about. even when it comes to housing, the way they try to frame that, they always try to frame it like, oh, the interest rates, or oh, it's just supply and demand. Not that they're BlackRock or all these companies are buying up real estate. They purposely keep that out because remember, the media is corporately owned, all of it.
Well, Ed, like that's a great point that Lithium just brought up in the chat. Is that yeah, like they did do a lot of talking, especially probably been talking about seniors.
Well, yeah, because seniors vote, but truth be told, most of like I'd say 60-70% of what they were talking about was bullshit. That was complete
Yeah.
bullshit. It was more so trying to make
Yeah.
people feel good about what's going on, but they're lying. I mean, at the end of the day, you have a housing crisis, you have an inflation issue. Because see, if the rent and housing stuff wasn't that bad, the inflation wouldn't be that bad as far as you know, if people had $200-300 more in their pocket off of housing, then that would cover 400. That would cover like a lot of the inflation. But you have multiple things like BGS said, and
Multiple
honestly,
black swans.
even the geopolitical shit, like dude, Russia has been flipping the board when it comes to France and the francophone state in Africa, and that stuff has to do with the European Union and keeping that moving the way it needs to, which kind of in a kind of affects NATO in a weird way. These dominoes are connected, but they don't talk about that shit because so they want to talk about Russia is getting quote unquote getting their ass beat by Ukraine, not understanding that's just one front. They've been making real great progress in Africa because Africans are tired of the Western white folks. They like they in the same situation we in. Well, fuck it. China and Russia ain't gonna fuck me harder than what y'all been doing. At least they'll use Vaseline.
That's fucked up.
That's where they at it. When you
It's
start
true
seeing,
though.
when you
It's
see
true.
Niger kicking America out, and then the Wagner group moving right in, which is not even official, a Russian thing. Officially, it's unofficially official. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep in mind that dude at the head of Wagner group, he had an accident. I mean, this stuff is happening in real time, but American media, and this is why another reason why I tell dudes to travel, because one of the first things I noticed when you get out of that American media bubble, you don't realize it's a bubble. You ask people, I ain't saying you, but I mean people, and I did. You actually believe that they're covered. You don't really understand the level of I'm not the level of sophisticated propaganda people are being fed, and that is on purpose. America will never incentivize people, black or white, to leave the country. Because you start leaving the country, too many of them do that. People are gonna see. It ain't about believing what other people say either. It's about just seeing how stuff operate. You're gonna get ideas you shouldn't be getting, for real. And America is a very well insulated bubble. So ultimately, Trump is not a great candidate at all. Nobody's saying that. But at the end of the day, they give you two choices. And you can either vote for what you've been dealing with or say, fuck it, let's reset this. And the candidate's job is to position himself as a credible thing. And unfortunately, Trump has his base. It'd be different if Trump didn't have his base. Trump has his base. He has his base, and a lot of people are like, fuck it. A vote for
But
Trump is a
but
vote
Ed,
to
Ed, Ed, according to the Democrats, it's our duty to get out and vote for them.
see, Democrats won't say that shit to me because I actually had somebody knock on my door, and I told them what it was. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't even know. I told them, I said, I don't even know why you come to my door. I'm black. Y'all don't fuck with black people like that. I told them right there, them old white folks right to their face. They didn't know what to say, straight up. Like so. I already know Democrats don't fuck with black people. Nobody's saying that. They don't. I mean, and you be like, like the fact that you got so many black immigrants that's like representing us. I'm talking about like immediate and all of that. They've been doing it. It's just black women. Black women. They ain't got nothing else. And I think people very much underestimate what that is. The best way to describe it is it's not exactly this, but it's like telling somebody God isn't real, and
Mhm.
you have the ability to really influence them that it's not real, but that's the only thing they hold on. So if you do make them cross that bridge, you don't know if they'll just jump off a cliff or something because you
Uh,
don't know God isn't real. I don't want to live anymore. That's kind of where black women are, and this is why
like
black women are crashing out the way they are too. By the way.
like I just have a quick question for the panel. You guys would know more about this than I would, but I did read an article saying that apparently RFK and Cornell West, they are pretty much barred from being candidates pending an investigation.
Yeah, I know
I
North
haven't heard
Carolina,
this yet.
they block them, but that's a typical party corrupted bullshit. Because
Yeah.
the argument is people like Cornell West and RFK. RFK and Cornell West are going to pull votes from the Democrats. So they have control over these houses. Republicans really don't care because this is they they don't think they need this. So, truth be told, Republicans aren't a fan of Trump either. The Republicans last don't want Trump. I mean, Trump just nobody can go against him because of how strong the base is. And the Republicans don't really have a super delegate system like the Democrats do. And if they did, that delegate system has its limits because if you just pick somebody when they pick some shit, then people gonna wild out. So the donors are limiting what they can do, but that's just typical shit. That's always like that.
Hmm.
Typically, the third parties typically operate more in other states, depending on what the state is. But it's always been like that. So that's not even new. I mean, because let's be real here, Cornell West ain't winning, and
Yeah.
RFK is 70 his damn self. So I mean, it's not like, oh man, I could actually win. So blah blah blah. It's not like Ralph Nader, or some shit like that, where they can buy their way into shit too. That's another thing.
Right.
Like Bloomberg could have brute forced his way past that if he would have some support. And it's funny because if Bloomberg would have waited in the pocket and didn't even try to run, he probably could have skated that damn stop and frisk shit. Because people weren't in the same situation that they're in now. People are in the situation now, like, oh shit. Like, but then again, Bloomberg is too old. Bloomberg is like 82 years old. It's too many old motherfuckers. They didn't like if you anybody that's like in the 40s and 50s have not really been. You got Nikki Haley and people like, but Nikki Haley's a fucking Indian, man, and I hate to say it that way, but like, fuck
Don't you
that.
mean Nimrata?
You might as well. I vote for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Shit, fuck it, let him do it then. If that's where we're at, shit. Even though Arnold's old, the shit. You want to do that? That's where we're at.
No,
And
he
and,
wasn't.
and
He
like,
wasn't born here though, so he can't run.
I know. But I'm like, it might as well be the same thing. The way they, I mean, Nikki Haley's an operator. I mean, whatever. I just heard whatever, man. I don't want that bitch getting like the first woman. You know, I don't know who I would pick for the first woman, man. Like
Yeah,
it's all
vote for Kamala.
Oh boy.
Well, BGS, I don't know if you heard what I said. I was just wondering, like, what are the panel's thoughts on RFK and Cornell West being barred from being candidates pending an investigation?
What did he do to where he needs to be barred?
I just read an article saying that. I don't know. Like, I would say you guys would
So
know
he
more.
has to have done something to be barred. So he
yeah.
should.
North Carolina has been blocking them too.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why are they blocking it?
I
I
just
mean,
read
not
this.
that it's gonna make that much difference, but why
They don't have a good reason.
Okay.
I guess they just daring him to push past it. They don't even have a good reason. They just made the decision, and they're not gonna do it.
Well, it's not going to go well with the Greens. The Greens aren't going to forget this, so they're
Hmm.
taking problems for themselves on down the line because one thing I say about these limousine liberals, they have long memories and they're going to be after your ass for a very long time.
BGS. That's the first I ever heard you say that. Like that must be some inside baseball shit. He said the
What
Greens aren't gonna forget
the
this.
Green? I used to be a Green, and basically the Green Party was
Oh,
developed by the limousine liberals, and they, the ones that drink chai tea and shop at Whole Foods, okay, and they have a
so,
very long memory. So North
so
Carolina will not be forgotten.
it sounds like the Greens got some paper.
They do
They
have
got.
paper. They do have. There's
Uh,
just not enough numbers, but they do have a whole lot of paper.
it sounds like they have some I white and I say so juice. The way you said.
They do. They just don't have the
Oh,
numbers because they're socialists. So
Oh,
man.
okay.
Where's Bernie down
yeah,
this?
Bernie. Well, a lot of the Greens were voting for Bernie. So
I'd be real mad about Bernie because the way they did that, and then especially his old man, yeah, he's at the Green.
I
and
know,
it,
BGS.
it,
You'll
it,
never
it,
let
it,
a socialist get in that position.
yeah, but Bernie didn't fight back. That's the problem.
He said those sound like some special forces liberals, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just, they don't got the numbers though, but
No.
don't want to get in your ass, man. They got that Karen finger, as I said. You know that finger where they point at
Mm-hmm.
you and you
Oh
go
yeah.
to jail. Ah, what is this? This is Ghost Cops. I'm actually working
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
AI with.
A lot of your ex Greens and a lot of your Bernie bros switch over to Trump. So
Damn. Also, so they believe in the scorched earth policy.
yeah,
Fuck you.
they really can. So
Also, see, people be making, oh man, that's not true. I said, yo, you'd be surprised at how many people are on some. I'm gonna get you to
yeah,
punish you because
yeah,
it ain't just about Trump getting in there. You gotta understand down ticket stuff and stuff
yeah,
like that. And certain people, if they got enough money, especially when it comes to these gray area laws like this, I mean, they're gonna be good if they got the the money to protect themselves. So it's like that's gonna be a you problem, you know. But yeah, man. Because I said that. I said on my last stream, I was like, yo, black people need to scorch these motherfuckers. Like, it ain't even about voting Republican. It's about like me. If you tell me personally what I should do,
hmm
I would personally not be on necessarily vote Republican to punish the Democrats. Me, I would be like, yo, you need to overload the system in the primaries. We need to you just show up and start liquidating people. Maybe a couple of people like Maxine Waters is fine. Do you need some people to stay? People that demonstrated that they have done some shit, but like
hmm
a lot of people, you need to just start liquidating people. Like put them in a state of fear. There's like these donors aren't going to help you because motherfuckers just coming out here coming for your ass in the primaries where they're vulnerable because it's less expensive. And then because if you do it that way, then you're taking the what about the Republican bullshit off the table. But anyway.
But the Republicans are going to.
Well, that doesn't matter because I ain't telling you to vote for a Republican. I'm telling you to vote out a Democrat in the fucking thing. Well, the Republicans will win then. Well, you gonna have to fight for something. Like if y'all, they not gonna give it to you. You gonna have to take it. So
B,
I don't know.
BGS is Maxine Waters a senator or a congresswoman?
Congressman.
Congressman.
Okay, Sheila Jackson Lee, she's congresswoman too, right?
Yeah,
From Texas. Okay, so that means that Green too. What is it? Al Green. Al Green. He's a House of Representative member too, right? Not Senate,
I
correct?
think so. Yeah,
So wait a minute. So Carburn, he's not a senator either. You mean to tell me all these black folks ain't nothing but House of Representatives? We don't have a black senator nowhere.
Yes,
when Scott,
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker,
Cory
when-
Booker, you had Kamala. It was one other. Yeah, it's hard to get in the Senate.
yeah,
It's hard.
Warnock,
Warnock.
yeah, Senator Warnock for Georgia. Yeah,
You got to get the whole state.
yeah.
That's that's the shit. It's hard for them to win in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Because
that's why I was.
Warnock beat what's his name? The dude
I think
Warnock beat. I can't think of his
I think
name.
Michael Steele would have been a good senator in Maryland. In time, but niggas want to. Oh, cool.
As far as he reached politically was lieutenant governor of Maryland, right? Or was it Virginia? It's one of the two.
And that's
I know.
yeah, he should have he should have been able to capture a Senate. And I get it. Democrats will never go co-sign that because that's that's a gimme for the Republicans. But this is where you gotta stop thinking vote blue no matter who and shit. This is where you gotta start thinking that shit. But black people, and we get it. It's the matriarchy. And yeah, black men need to be accountable for following into that shit. FYI. But it's that matriarchy. And a vote for the Democratic Party is a vote against the Democratic Party is a vote to harm black women. This is how you goofy ass niggas think about it. And don't tell me that's not how you think about it. This is why if you look at the numbers, it's so many black men that vote for them if they do vote. Because they see voting for Republican, you hurt my daughter, you hurt my mother. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck over it.
But remember, Ed, just last presidential cycle, the brothers start switching up and voting Republican, opting out of voting third party. This go about this turn go about? No. They're not going to get all the black male votes like they used to. And if it
Well,
gets above 18% away from them in black male votes, they're shot.
but typically what happens is black men will stay home. Black men and vote. Man, you don't got a lot of dudes. Oh, yeah, man, I voted for Democrat. Now I'm pushing to vote for Republican. They either go already with kind of predisposition to do that,
Yeah,
or they stay
um
home.
they either voting Republican or staying home. As
They do
Phil put
mandatory
that
home.
point, they're
You know,
voting for the cap.
now. But a lot of folks forget, like, it's not about the presidency, yes, but it's a lot of down ticket stuff you need to pay attention to depending on what's going on in your state. Like, for instance, if you in a blue state, why should I vote? The Democrat gonna win anyway, you dumb fuck. It's called your city and your state with these migrants and shit. And that's up down. So it ain't gonna just be if Trump's in there and he just gonna reverse stuff. You gonna have to start removing people everywhere. And motherfuckers don't want to be active like that because again, you black women again, and like I said, black women don't know what to do. Black women don't know what to do because all they know how to do is bitch to black men about shit. They don't know how to tell that white man how they feel. That they just sit there and they at that point they pray about it. That's when they want to find the Lord. But when
Mhm.
so I mean,
Yeah,
because you
well,
don't really see them bitching about it, not publicly. Not publicly. Privately they probably mad as fuck, but publicly they acting like they just not saying nothing. That's what it is.
what does PGS said is Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
I mean, like I said, hating black men ain't gonna save you. And the thing that a lot of black women don't understand is you are able to speak at the pleasure of them white folks. Them white folks can shut you out of media just like that. Ain't nothing you can do. It ain't not a goddamn thing you can do. You bitching on social media, they can free because that ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, especially if they already gonna lose. And this is not something that just happened. They've been going this way for a long time. Like even all these chicks that will talk about vote Biden, like all these motherfuckers are stupid. And at the end of the day, it's we've been saying it. It's every man for themselves. And y'all on some colorism, featureism. It's just crazy because I know what black people are gonna do. When shit hits the fan, they're gonna just be quiet because what else are you going to do? I know that, and that's how you know it's game over. And people been telling you, like, or they may start trying to riot. Well, the women won't, but if the men do, it's gonna be game over for you with that. They're not gonna keep on letting you just do that out of nowhere. So it's gonna be what is it? July, August, September. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting 4 months. It's crazy. These 4 months are gonna go by, man. And I don't really know what you gonna talk about. What are you really gonna talk about? Biden this race is this. Because the media can't even pretend like this is a horse race unless they're just saying we're gonna fucking lie. We're just gonna lie. And then whatever. This lying season.
Yeah, well, yeah, fellas, I'm about to go to bed. Shut down.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, man. Peace out.
yeah,
Later, dude.
thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm going to bed. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified the next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.